Hi, I'm Lynn Evans, Curator of Archaeology for Mackinac State Historic Parks. We're here in the Peterson Center Archaeological Storage Area to take a deeper look at some of the artifacts in our collection. Today, I'd like to look at some animal bones. Food remains are the most common thing that we find at our site in Michilimackinac, both bones from the animals that they ate and burnt seeds. Food waste give us a good insight into the daily life of the people who lived here. People eat foods that they have been brought up with, comfort foods as it were, so that gives us an insight into their ethnic background, and they also eat the best quality they can afford, and that gives us insight into their economic status. So we have found over the years that the native people in the 18th century were continuing to eat a local diet. The British much preferred familiar domesticated plants and animals. The French Canadian households here were most likely to be composed of both French Canadians and Métis or Native American women, and so they were most likely to have a mixed diet. Now, many of the things we find would be familiar today: whitefish bones, burnt corn kernels, but the bones we're looking at today are from the passenger pigeon. Its scientific name is Ectopistis migratorius. Passenger pigeon is particularly interesting because it has been extinct since 1914, but in the 18th century, large flocks of passenger pigeon were common in the Straits area and throughout eastern North America. Now, passenger pigeon bones have been found at both British and French homes at Michilimackinac. They have been found at contemporary indigenous sites in the Straits area. But it turns out, a lot of work has been done on this by Jenna Carlson, and it turns out that the most common place that we find them are French Canadian households. She believes part of this is because in France, wild birds, including pigeon, were a part of the elite diet, and all of a sudden in North America, the average French Canadian could afford to add this to their diet and emulate the upper class. If you're interested in learning more about Michilimackinac, I invite you to come visit us next summer. The fort will be open May through September. The archaeological project will be June, July, and August, and we will be sponsored by Mackinac Associates next summer.